Hello. Hello. Good morning. Am I clearly audible? No? Somebody said. Am I clearly audible now? Okay. It's not that much of a big room, so I don't think this is required much, but still, formalities. Please, everybody settle down. जो आ रहे हैं उनको यहाँ बिठाइए. So, good morning once again, all of you. Sir will not be joining us today. Ankit sir, who will be teaching you from this very podium, he will not be joining us today, and I'll tell you the reason why at the end of this lecture, this orientation session. It is the policy of Aspire to take care of the students in creation. Once you become a part of this institution, become a part of this family, not only your preparation is taken care of, but also your failures, your successes, handling you during your depressions. So just after prelims, sir has taken students to Bhutan for a recreational trip. So this is an orientation session, and me and my friends have been entrusted with this responsibility to orient you guys. Now, there are two benefits of this session, of us taking this session. First of all, I would like to make it clear to you that we are not here to sing praises about Sir, not here to sing songs in his glory. If you have that perception, please be clear about that. I have been associated with Aspire for just a matter of 1 year. I have done 2 classes here, and that was enough for me to recognize what this institution is all about. That is why, just on a moment's call, yesterday I was informed that I have to speak here, and today I am standing here in front of you. So let's clear out that thing. Secondly, it is much more important for you guys to know from our perspective that how does this class help me? How did it help me? Few months ago, I was one of you. I was one of you sitting in these very chairs, listening to speakers, listening to sirs standing here, writing answers, giving answers. So all that stuff used to happen to me. I'm just here to tell to you that how did that help me and how did I utilize this particular platform to get my name into the list. Okay? We'll be discussing here what has made Aspire make such huge waves in the coaching market arena. What is the reason? What is the reason why, because of which year after year Aspire has been given astounding success in this platform? And I'll be giving my testimony, not my songs of glory, but my testimony of my personal experience here. Okay? So, for that, I think I must introduce myself. I'm Aditya Vikram Hirani, officially known as Hirani Aditya Vikram Kumar. That is the way my name is written on the official documents. So, I am ranked 113 in CSE 2016, and I am presently working as an assistant director in Ministry of Defence. This job I got through CSE 2014 when my name appeared in the reserved list. After that, I attempted the examination again in 2015. I could not clear. Means I went to the interview, I could not get my name into the list. And then in 2016, I associated myself with this institute, and here I am. Okay? So, what was the reason for me to come here? It has a bit of a history. In 2014, my GS score, the cumulative score of 4 papers, was 345. It is, by the standards of that year, it was an average mark. It was just about average. 340 was the average. Next year, I joined the same test series. I followed the same pattern. I read the same books, and I got a score of 339, which by the standards of that year was below average. few marks below average. I'm sorry, I'll be continuing the whole session in English. The reason being that we are connected here and our recordings are being heard all across India, and there are few people who might not be very well comfortable with Hindi. So please bear with that. I'll try to make it as lucid and as understandable as possible. So 345, 339, that was the case. It was at that point of time when I got my marks of my second attempt, I realized that however good I do in the interview, the marks which I get in mains are the deciding factor who will take my name to the list or will push it downwards. It was that time when I heard about this institution. One of my roommates was a person practicing here. So he told me that you just go to one of his sessions of 4 days. There was a module of history before prelims. You just attend that, and if you feel good, you can continue. So I attended that, and the philosophy with which pedagogy or teaching continues in this particular room, that forced me to join 3 subsequent modules during the preparation of my mains. I joined the writing skill analysis program, the newspaper batch, and thirdly, the ethics module. Okay? It is, when you read newspapers, you'll get to know, Albert Einstein has said one thing which is often quoted in newspapers. Insanity, they say, is to repeat the same things again and again and expect different results. After my second result, I realized that I was being insane in repeating the same things and expecting different results. I knew I had to do something different, and this platform provided me something different. I'll tell you how. Let's analyze the programs one by one and understand that how this particular platform is different from the rest of the platform, and why should you do it. Okay? Writing skill analysis program. We had 28 to 30 short tests spread across a period of 3 months. Okay? We get about 100 days between prelims and mains. So 28 to 30 short tests spread across a period of 3 months. And if you calculate it, we used to have tests on every Sunday and few Thursdays in between as well. Now, why is such an approach important? The idea of test series in the minds of the student is that, there is a whole module of 8 tests, 12 tests. Last ke 4 tests would be full test, and full tests are very important. The point is, let's say your first test is on GS1. तो आपके पहले टेस्ट में GS1 का half syllabus would be asked. Okay? After doing that GS1 half syllabus, you will not be studying, you will not be touching that part of the syllabus for the rest of the mains preparation until your first full test of GS1 will arrive. Okay? Something which you are studying in August, you will be touching it again in November, when your mains would be just 15 or 20 days ahead of you. Now, that is not a good strategy. This is something which is, you will be out of touch of history, you will be out of touch of geography for a long period of time, and which puts you at a risk. This module, it's a minimalistic approach. We do not have 3 hours long test, at least in the beginning. In the later part we have, but at least in the beginning we have 2 hours test, and every single test is at a regular interval which is not too long. Okay? This Sunday I am touching GS3. Next Thursday, 4 days ahead of it, I'll be touching GS1, and again I'll be touching GS3. So in a way, I am in touch of every single topic which I need to prepare. This is important. Next, I'm not sure whether every one of you has this thing, but if you do, I'd request you to open it. Okay. Now, I have been preparing since 2014. I am into this preparations, and the idea of cracking civil services was got seeded into my mind long back. So I have been in touch of these things. I have seen a phase where you can just read the books, rectify them, and vomit it out on the paper, and you get cleared. I have seen that phase as well. But gone are the days when your paper was prepared using just the books. In this phase of examination, there is a huge difference between preparation and preparedness. It's very important to differentiate between these two things. According to you, preparation would be your books. Lakshmikant पढ़ लिया, polity हो गया. Bipin Chandra पढ़ लिया, history हो गया. This trend which we are seeing since past 3 years, this is not that. Your preparation is your books, but your preparedness is not related with your books. If you pick up the papers and read them, you will find out the quality of questions, the type of questions which they are asking, they are integrated. You'll have to bring in geography, history, economy, and historical polity into perspective to produce a good answer, seeing which the examiner will be forced to give you the highest marks. This examination nowadays is testing how well are you able to integrate your comprehensive knowledge while writing the answer. Not just history mein kya padha hai, just that. And you see the questions. None of the questions are direct. You have to apply yourself. And so, just look at the syllabus of paper test 1. GS1, there are few topics, and GS3, you see paper 1 and paper 3 are integrated here. Paper 1, you'll have the topics pertaining to geography, and paper 3, the topics which are fringe topics of geography, somewhere related to it. Okay? Let's take an example. Primary industry, and in GS3 you'll locate agriculture. Distribution of natural resources, that leads us to mines and minerals. Mines leads us to mining. Mining leads us to pollution. GS3, pollution. Okay? If somebody is to ask you, such and such pollution is very high in such and such river in India. So you have to apply yourself. This is a GS3 question, but you have to bring in the knowledge of GS1 that yes, in this area, we have the abundance of so and so minerals. The mining practices followed in India are not well enough to prevent the pollution, and that is the result. We find that Subarnarekha river is changing its color into black because of coal washeries. Such things are required. Okay, you will rarely find such a thing in any other particular test series or modules, whatever you look after. This is one point, and this is very important. Clubbing of topics. Secondly, you can say that so and so institute is also giving us a module of 28 tests. You know, there are modules, and you can very well go and join them. But the fact is, I have seen those papers. When you have a lot of tests, what they'll do is they'll take some part of the syllabus, but they'll ask such silly questions. Such silly questions like they are expecting us to be the policy maker who created Citizens Charter. They ask us from that perspective. Now, the only thing which you will get from those question papers is demotivation. Last year's question paper was such that even if you have not picked up the books, you could have attempted and you could have got decent marks. I'm not saying highest marks, but you could have easily got decent marks if you just have the know-how, how the processes work in the country. What is the history, what is the constitution, and how the things are working. The papers are not, they do not expect a PhD level answer from you. Okay? So every single test in this module would be having integrated topics and would be testing your ability to integrate the basic knowledge which you have. Okay? Let's take an example of prelims. We had a question on GST. People preparing for prelims had surgically dissected GST while preparing it. Who said what? What are the rates? When will the rates be increased? What is the percentage? This, that. God knows what not. And the question asked was, why is GST being introduced in India? A layman who is just reading the newspapers would have been able to answer that question. If some of you have seen the paper, they can agree with me here. Okay, so the test, I have personally done this module. The tests which are being asked, they cater to such questions and not take you into in-depth analysis, which is pointless, meaningless, and unnecessary. Okay. Second point. What is the importance of discussions after a paper? From the point of view of a person who has given abundant test series, I'll tell you, discussions are very important. Now you must have heard the famous idiom, strike the iron when it's hot. Okay? Here, what we used to do, at 7 p.m. we used to have the test, 7 to 9, 2 hours test. Immediately at 9 p.m., sir used to be standing here while we are writing tests. He used to observe that nobody is cheating, and he used to keep timer. 9 minutes are over. First question, everybody should stop writing, shift to next question. You don't find such things. Okay? And after that, 9 p.m. here, sir used to start the discussion. And discussion used to be very lively. It was an interactive exercise. Like, I'll ask you, what did you write in question number 2? How did you interpret it? The point is, if you write a test now and you attend the discussion 15 days later, first of all, that test is not clear in your mind. Secondly, you are into the mode of preparing for the next test already. So right here, right now, we will be discussing the test with you. And the discussions go on up to 1 p.m. 1 a.m. 4 hours. 2 hours test, 4 hours discussion. For all the female candidates, I would like to say, do not be apprehended by these times. Okay? People might be telling you, you might be knowing, you might have heard of it that sir's classes, they extend well beyond 12 a.m., 12 p.m. in the night and this and that. Do not be apprehended because of this. You are aspiring to be a civil servant. You are aspiring to be a part of the steel frame of India. Suppose I make you an IPS officer, would you tell that no, there is a duty calling me at 1 a.m. in the night, I am a lady, I won't go? No. I have personally seen, I have sat with ladies and female aspirants, they have sat with me together till 1:30, 2, whatever the time required. Okay? So, clear that apprehension out of your mind. Next thing is, the best part. As and when the discussion is going on, your papers are getting checked simultaneously. The pattern what we follow is, sir will collect all the papers. The papers would be randomly distributed to every student. Okay? You are supposed to write only your roll number, not your name, nothing else. Okay? So I do not know whose paper I am checking because I will not memorize each and everyone's roll number. So what happens is, while sir is discussing the answer, each one of you will be checking the copies of someone else. What is the benefit? First of all, you will be able to know what your colleagues and what your peers are writing. You will be able to check 28 different copies and you will be able to have an insight into 28 different mindsets. See, if I give you my answer book, you will read it as AIR-113 ka answer book hai. He might have already done well, aisa. But if somebody is sitting next to you and you are reading his answer book, it makes a difference. Because if he is writing very well as compared to you, you will be absorbing more from his paper. Because he is your peer, he is your colleague. You will be absorbing more. If he can write such a thing, why can't I? Okay? And when you will be forced to give marks, you'll realize that my paper should be like this. Okay? Each one of you will be checking papers. Sir would be guiding you into checking that these are the points which I expect. If such and such points are there, you can give the highest marks, you can give 4 marks, 5 marks, whatever be the case. And after that exercise, papers are recollected, distributed. Sir gives a threshold depending on the level of the paper, quality of the paper. Sir gives a threshold. Let's say 45 marks is the threshold. And then he says, anybody who is crossing 45 marks in this test has performed well. And then comes the punchline. Whatever number of tests you give here, sir says, if you are clearing the threshold every single point of time, you can expect your name into top hundreds. Not just in the list, into top hundreds. Why so? Because you are able to write in such a manner that no matter who checks your paper, you are able to satisfy him. You are able to satisfy him to that extent that he is forced to give you marks which pushes you above the threshold. Are you getting my point? And this is what happens. You will not know who is going to check all 4 papers of yours. 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be going into random hands. And different people will be checking different papers. If you want to have your name in the list, you have to satisfy each and every one of them with your answers, with your writing skill. And this is the net practice of that thing. Excel here and be assured that your name will be there. Personal experience. Barring a few tests, I was above threshold in every single test. Be it 40 marks, 50 marks, 45 marks, 35 marks, whatever be the threshold. I was well above it, and sir used to say, this year I'll be seeing you. Now there are many benefits of such. One thing is that you develop your writing skill. Second thing is that you learn from your peers. And again, if you're not satisfied with your marks, you see your paper, you have done really well, you're given only 25 marks, you're not satisfied, sir will ask the person who has checked your copy and tell him to point out what did you not find in this paper. Okay, so you also get to know the perspective of the checker. If I am the person who has given the paper and she is the girl who has corrected my paper, I'll ask her, what did you not find here? And she'll say, I expected this. Your answers lack clarity. Your handwriting is not legible. So this is the thing which is the unique point of this particular exercise. And in the end, there are incentives and disincentives. The people entering this class now, few of them are those who have sat in this very room with me. I'll introduce them. But they were the ones who were partners with me in this journey, and we were given incentives and disincentives which we shared together. If you score very well and consistently, sir keeps a track of your marks, you are applauded in this class. You are applauded. And it might seem just a normal thing, but believe me, that applause will push you, beyond your limits. That particular applause which you get, it will make you work harder, even harder for the next test. And disincentives is that if you do not perform well, God forbid, he'll thrash you like anything. Verbally, of course, but yes. That fear and that motivation, both the things are necessary. Okay, this is what I gained from the writing skill program. This is what I gained. Coming to the newspaper analysis program. For prelims, we have been seeing that the papers are transforming. The days used to be that they used to dig deep into Constitution, and nowadays we find that they're not even asking a single thing from the Constitution. They are asking the philosophy behind the Constitution, the essence of our constitutional philosophy. What do rights signify? Are fundamental duties correlative to your rights? This is the philosophy of Constitution, not the Constitution. You will never find a word in the Constitution saying that rights are correlative to the duties. It's how good understanding do you hold of the Constitution. So papers are transforming. On top of that, we are also finding factoids. Okay, which beach in country has a receding shoreline? Which camel can swim? Which flower is made up of something like orange pulp? Questions are like these are occurring. Now, as far as the newspaper is concerned, the newspaper class prepares you very well in the point of that factoids. I still remember sitting here in this very class, I found out that that particular Andaman Nicobar orange pulp wala flower question that figured in the last page of Hindu on the tabloids which are given at the top. You know, the news which is made up in 30 words. We usually skip that. As soon as the sports page is reached, we close the paper, done. But no, they are picking up points from there. And such things are very well taken care of in this class. Next, mains. The preparation of mains in this class through newspaper is, I would say, phenomenal. Because last year there was a question in GS paper 3, border management. And it is an established fact that the paper is prepared from the Hindu. Nothing else. Not Express, not Standard, no Times of India, the Hindu. 2013, I still remember there was a single random article on Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. It figured as a question on his Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad's contribution to India. Last year, while we were studying, I used to sit here somewhere. So there were 3 repetitive articles on border issues pertaining to India. 3 repetitive articles and a question for 12.5 marks figured in the GS paper 3 security part. What are the border issues of India and what solutions do you propose? Now, if I'm a random guy who has read that article but just given a cursory glance, I would write border issues like, you know, Indo-Pak, this and that. If I'm a student of geography, I'll say that the terrain is not good. We have mountains, we have rivers, we have marshes. But if somebody who has analyzed that issue to the core of it, you will be able to write points such as the BSF Jawans who are not paid well or who are struggling for their food, who are not getting good quality food, that becomes my border issue. If my soldiers do not have night vision goggles, do not have modern warfare techniques, that becomes my border issue. If there is a drug trade going on in Myanmar, it is my border issue because my northeastern borders are attached to it and there is a probability of drug peddlers coming into my country. Cattle smuggling in Bangladesh is my border issue. Now these points were covered in those 3 repetitive articles. Okay, I have been reading newspapers since 2014, making notes diligently. But I myself can say I would not have covered this topic to such depth. And my highest score in paper is in paper 3 in GS. Out of the 4 papers, my highest score is in that. So newspaper analysis program, as far as mains is concerned, every single article is analyzed perfectly to the depth. And yes, people ask me, there's this one common question, I like to address it now. They say that, sir, will be taking the classes from, let's say, the month of July and it will continue till the month of October until the mains start. So, 3 mahine ka paper. People say, what about previous papers? Because it is said that mains ka paper, it includes the whole year's current affairs. So, the answer to this question is that we do not just study the news here. I'll explain you with an example. Let's say there's an article on demonetization. Demonetization occurred on November 8, 2016, and there's an article now. So that doesn't mean that when sir will be teaching demonetization, he'll be just dealing with the article. There will be a whole extended study right from the beginning of demonetization up to the end, up till this point, what has happened. Okay? Another beauty of this class is, suppose there is an article on corals. A random article saying that barrier reef, corals in the barrier reef of Australia are declining in number, and it is believed that in few years they'll vanish. This is the news, 60 words news. But this is not it. If sir is present here, reading that article, he'll make you close the newspaper. He'll ask you to open your registers. You have to maintain a register for questions. He'll ask you to open the register and write a question. Corals are described as the unique ecosystem of the seas. What are the necessary conditions for corals to thrive, and what are the reasons for their rapid decline in the Anthropocene era? Okay, so at this point of time, your entire knowledge of corals as a topic is being tested. You will be given 9 minutes to write an answer. Every one of you will write. And if I'll suggest that each one of you do your best. Even if you do not know a thing, try to put your pen to the paper and write your ideas. You'll write, and after those 9 minutes, sir will ask, yes, so and so person, please get up and read your answer. There will be answers of 4 to 5 people. You'll get to know what everybody thinks, what different points everybody has written, and then sir will give his own answer. Okay? So this exercise, at least for 3 months you will not forget corals. Take this for granted. And suppose you are lethargic that day. You attended a party, you slept late, you are feeling sleepy, you are not writing your answer. If sir, God forbid, but if sir asks you to get up and read the answer and you are not reading and you are saying, sir, nahi likha, then that is not an excuse. That is not an excuse which is being tolerated here. You might have heard of other coaching classes where, such an interaction is not there. It's just a, transaction. You give me the money, I'll give you the stuff. Tata bye bye. No. This is one place where hand-holding exercise is being taken up. If you're not studying, you'll be made to study. If you're studying well, you'll be motivated further. Okay? So that particular thing, when in this whole class you are standing and shouting like reading your answers with a firm voice, confident voice, that particular thing, if somebody is not confident, he'll listen to you and he'll become confident. And once you give a good answer, sir will, once he likes your answers, he'll say, "Behtareen answer likha hai." That particular thing will remain with you. That will make you assured that corals ka question aaya, I'm situated to get highest marks in that thing. Such confidence is required, because at the end of the day, those 15,000 people who are appearing for mains, everybody is preparing, everybody is working night and day. The only difference between the 1,000 who are getting selected and the 14,000 is not their content, not the knowledge, but attitude and temperament. Somewhere in your temperament there needs to be a positivity, there needs to be a confidence. They say, I can do it. If not me, then who? And sir makes you believe that. Tum nahi karoge to kaun karega? If not you, then who? Okay? This is an additional advantage, because something which cannot be quantified. I cannot tell you that so and so amount of temperament I got from this class, but yes, I can tell that when sir used to say me that you're going to do it, you're one of the most positive students I have met, that had affected me. Somewhere it reflected in my answers. And who knows, that might have clicked when the person who was taking the paper. Okay? Yes. Daily revision. Suppose you join a newspaper class Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesday, when you will be coming, you are supposed to read the newspapers of the previous class. If suppose you have covered 4 newspapers in that class, you are supposed to come with a very good revision. Revision as if, it is said in military language, Ministry of Defense, I got to know a few things. They say, if something is very important, listen to it, and listen to it as if your life depends upon it. So, Read the newspapers, and read the newspapers as if your life depends upon it. Because if you come here unprepared, and the very first thing in the morning, very first thing in the parliament is question hour. Grilling the government. What have you done? The same thing occurs here. Very first thing. He said, oh, close your books, close your newspapers. We read about gold monetization scheme yesterday. Please explain. You know, you'll find yourself trying to hide, trying to keep your head down. There were times when there were seats vacant here, but we used to sit here. And sir used to just grab us and take us inside. Kya ho andar aao. Such things will occur. But go through that. Push yourselves to be here, to sit here, right in front of sir, and make him ask you questions even if you do not know. Because if you know, and if you deliver here, you will get confidence. And if you do not know, you will be ridiculed. And that is important. You will be condemned, you will be admonished, you will be ridiculed. And that will make you work harder for the next class. I have experienced both the things. I have heard words of appreciation and I have heard condemnation as well. Both of them work for me. And this is an atmosphere where you will find healthy competition. Healthy competition as in, if somebody next to you is completing the answer within 7 minutes, you will be forced to know that how can that person is able to put content into the matter, into the paper within 7 minutes while it is taking me more than 9 minutes. Aspect of competition. Secondly, when somebody is standing up and giving a very wonderful answer and getting appreciation from the sir, you will not feel jealous of him, but you will feel that feeling inside. If he can, then why not I? And this is the competitive spirit required. During the writing skill examination, 63 I am, and if somebody next to me is getting 65, I used to feel that, you know, what different has he done in his paper to get those 2 marks above me? In your normal test series, you are the only person, you will give your test, you will get it back, feedback, you have done very well, do this, draw this thing, and similar feedbacks in every paper. You will be isolated. You will not find the crowd to motivate you. You will just see the random bar graph chart distribution के आप यहाँ stand करते हो, आपके आगे इतने, आपके पीछे इतने हैं. I need to see the faces of those persons who are ahead of me. I need to see those copies which have got more marks than me. I need to listen to those answers. What is the thing which I am lacking and that particular person is having? And I need to incorporate that then and there. Not today, not tomorrow, not 1 month later, then and there. And this is the platform for that. We are done with 2 courses which I had done. 3rd course, ethics. One thing which will describe it is something different. Ethics is such a paper here. We did not have much content. Like there is one book, lexicon. There is another book, Roy Chaudhary, reference book है, refer करना है करो, नहीं करना है मत करो. So it was becoming repetitive. I knew things, I knew concepts, but I did not know how do they work. What is something different from ethical perspectives? We read BBC's website and everything we found similar matter. But here, the notes, I don't know from where the notes were prepared, but the notes which we got were something different. One of my roommates, he had given this mains, and after the examination, he just told sir that the whole paper of ethics, I attempted based on just one memory of the class, those 7 points which you had told me, that these are the points necessary for an ethical personality in administration. In a matter of 15 classes, of one class, just 1 point, one topic. He remembered that and he was able to solve the whole paper based on that. And got decent marks. So, this is not a place where you will be given content of the answer that agar ye question aaya to ye answer likh dena. No. You will be given the framework to prepare your own answer. You know, give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. Teach a man how to fish, you feed him for his life. So we are taught here how to fish. We are taught here how to prepare your answers based on a certain framework. We are not given content. Of course, content is supplementary material we get. But we are given a framework that if such and such question is appearing, these are the aspects which you can include. And then the content is yours. Okay? So, this was the point here. This was the point which I wanted to make as far as ethics was concerned. When I joined the batch, there were many selected candidates in the ethics class. And it made a difference because we were discussing case studies. Okay? Case studies is where the true you gets reflected. People say कि case study में हम bluff कर देंगे, ये कर देंगे. It doesn't happen. The true you gets reflected somehow. So when we were discussing case studies, sir used to make those selected candidates stand up and give their answers. And I used to mark clear difference between the answers of those who are sitting here and those who are sitting in the services. There was a clear difference of temperament, there was a clear difference of attitude, there was a clear, tangible difference of the way they will choose and the way other people will choose. And that is what makes the difference in the paper. Okay? Ethics somewhere is testing your ability to relate to the philosophy on which this country works. Okay? Somewhere it is testing that if you are given that responsibility, if you are made a bureaucrat and if you are given that position, you are acting as a responsible person and not as a hot-headed youth which has been given the apple when he was not deserving it. Okay, that is the purpose of that paper, and we found clear differences between the answers of the selected guys and the answers of the non-selected guys. So if you are aspiring for these services, you at least get a reference point. Sitting in this room, if you are listening to my answer, let's say ethics answer, and if you are listening to someone else's answer, you will clearly be able to see why this guy got good marks here. Because this thing he did differently. And when you listen to that, that becomes yours. You have to borrow that, incorporate that then and there. Okay? And not only ethics, the whole journey in Aspire has been like that. We can call it sharing, mutual sharing. Sir is sharing, but on top of that, the students share among themselves. You are made to share among yourselves. And do not feel that it is not beneficial. मेरा एक बहुत अच्छा point है. If I say it now, सबका हो जाएगा. Say it now. You'll realize at the end of the day, you were the one who got benefited. Personal experience, I'm telling you. I never used to hesitate to share my strategy, my points, my something which I have worked upon and created upon with myself. Never used to hesitate to give it to someone else or to share with someone. Because the number of times I repeated it, the number of times it sunk into my mind. If it sunk into someone else's mind, well, uske dimag mein nahi aaya, I don't care. But yes, it sunk into my mind, I was able to put it to paper. Okay? Now, these were the modules which I had done. I hope I have explained to you what I received from this particular thing. There is a word of caution here, and I'll tell you that. No doubt, Aspire has been making great strides in the arena here. It has been making great successes, and year after year we have seen that the numbers of candidates clearing are increasing. But with that, there are various arguments in the market as well. You might have heard some people have felt that as well. I'll share some of them with you, because I am not sir here. I am the person who was sitting in those chairs and who has observed things. So I'm duty bound here to clarify those things to you. You'll hear that in this class, democracy does not exist. This is not a democratic room. Okay? This is the one argument which is forwarded. Secondly, you will hear that the man running Aspire is a self-obsessed man. He speaks too much about himself. You'll hear this thing. If you have not heard it, you'll hear it now. And most of you, I believe, have already heard it. Thirdly, you'll hear that sir is very outspoken. Does not care about your feelings. He'll hurt you until you cry or until you feel very dejected. As a student, not even ex-student, I'm still his student. As a student, each of this thing is true. Every single thing is true. The difference is perspective. How you look at it. How I looked at it. When you say democracy in this class does not exist, I say it is necessary. Some sort of dictatorship should exist here because democratic means are abused by people. If I give you power to question me now, I give you power to ask me questions now, you will abuse that power and you will engage me into meaningless, pointless and unnecessary topics, unnecessary discussions. Okay? Sir does not like that. And that's why you are here just to absorb, not to give back. He already has enough. You are here just to absorb. You can ask questions. There's no doubt in that. There's no place for unnecessary debates here. Okay? And I particularly felt that it was required. Secondly, people say sir is, self-centered, egotistical person who is boasting about himself. Yeah, sir speaks a lot. Sir speaks a lot about the success of Aspire. Sir speaks a lot about his own success. But you must understand the perspective here is that those minutes, those hours which he spends in orienting you guys, that is your orientation. That is not boasting. Because that man, while standing here, he speaks about people like us, people like me, who came here with a stagnated marks profile in GS. 345, 339, clearly stagnation was visible. Who came here with a stagnated marks profile in GS and now is standing here to give orientation to you. These are the things which he'll speak upon. And I have listened to such things every single class. And it has only motivated me. It's depending upon the perspective with which you look at it. Okay? Next thing people say that sir is too outspoken. He does not care about your feelings. Damn true, he does not care about your feelings. Why should he care about your feelings? Are we here to nurture our feelings? No. We are here to clear this examination, get our name into that list. This is a platform, these are the seats where you will be ridiculed, you will be condemned, you will be made fun of. Not because of your looks, not because of your clothes, but because of your answers, solely dependent on your answers. If in the answer of corals, you are including air masses, you deserve that thing. You deserve that thing. You are not here, we are not here to nurture your ego, nurture your feelings. We are here to get you through. And this is the route which has been found most effective. Because after a certain amount of time, when you get to know that yes, I am not doing it correctly, and that particular ridicule which you get here, that will take you to your home and make you work. And work with a focused mind that I need to improve my topics. Because the next time when I will be answering the question, I need to answer it in such a way that I receive words of appreciation and not the words of condemnation. Okay? Every single thing you listen is true, and every single thing you listen is, from my perspective at least, are necessary. Because this platform here is a one-man show. Fix it in your mind. It's a one-man show. Okay? There is no place here for your ego, for your successes, for your failures, and for your history. The very first thing which sir told me, I told him, sir, I have cleared this thing, I belong to this and this services. I do not give a damn to which service you belong to. You are here, you are one of them now. And that is how things work. Because every single attempt, people, they do not see कि आप ये IPS है तो आपको इतने इससे ज़्यादा ही marks मिलने चाहिए. There have been cases where selected people have not been selected again. So that particular backpack of what you have done in your IIT, what you have done in your medical field, आपने कौन सा service निकाला है, क्या हो, क्या नहीं हो, everything you have to leave at your home. I have seen people in this platform who have done very modestly in their 10th, 12th and graduation, very modest. But at the end, they were in the list. And those who were Surma, Tismar Khan, still struggling. Do not carry those backpacks with you here. And sir will make sure that if you are doing so, he will remove it from you on your behalf. So, again, I'll repeat that this thing, sir popularly calls these classes as rehabilitation center. Because I had done modules earlier, I had visited several classes, and then I came to Aspire to improve my things, to plug those loopholes. And most of the students, most of the population here is like that. After roaming here and there, spending time and money, they come here. So this is a rehabilitation center, and in a rehabilitation center, you do not have much choices. Okay. नशा मुक्ति केंद्र, if somebody has heard about it, तो आपको वो नशा नहीं रहेगा. You do not have the liberty to go your own way. You'll have to follow certain rules. And if you take my word, just perceive it as a rocket to the moon. Just perceive this thing as a rocket to the moon. You hang on it, you'll feel the thrust, you'll feel the pain, you'll try to, छोड़ देते हैं. But just hang on. Because every single time in that corridor, you will feel that, I should not enter. It's better I sit outside. But push yourselves, get your step into this room. Hang on. Hang on for those 3.5 months. Sir has been putting people into their respective orbits, and sir will be doing so. I have faith in that man. That man standing here there have been incidences where he has lost his voice. I'm reading the newspaper, he was reading the newspaper, and suddenly the voice box stopped working. And what did he do then? He asked the person sitting next to him to read the newspaper, and he pointed out, this is the point which you should mark out. Character. Certain traits which are required. And if people who have cleared mains twice or thrice but are getting the same amount of marks and are not finding their name in the list, at that point of time, you know all the things, you know the content. So something is lacking in your answer, and that is the temperament, that humility and that sincerity in the answer. And for that, I believe that this particular arrangement of a teacher-student relationship, the ones which we used to have in schools, homework नहीं करके जाओ तो डर लगता था कि कहीं छड़ी ना पड़ जाए. So that teacher-student relationships will bring that thing into you. I myself did not ever once feel the fact that I was already a selected candidate. Never in those days. Sir keeps you grounded. Okay? And I have personally seen people discussing life wale matters. Sir, girlfriend बात नहीं कर रही है, क्या करूँ? ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. In the face of sir, you will find a mentor, and not just a teacher who has taken your money and is giving you stuff. And for that mentorship relation, it's because of that on yesterday is just a call. I'm standing here. I have to reach my office now. I have taken an extension of 1 hour. So, yeah. And lastly, I'll share with you my philosophy that this nation, this particular thing of ours, it's built on aspirations. Okay, it's not an idea, it's not a contract. It was an aspiration when people came together and aspired to be one. Okay, and in this room, we were a collection of aspirations. We came here together and aspired to find our names into that list. And in that regard, I urge you to aspire. Thank you. I'd be passing on the baton to one of my friends, very good friends. She is rank 144, Reeshma Ramesan. She has done few other modules with sir as well. So something which I have not done, she would be throwing light onto it, and she would be giving her own perspective. With a huge round of applause, Reeshma. And yes, thank you for being so patient and a wonderful audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aditya. Good morning to one and all. So, all of you are like any freshers here? Like anybody coming for the first time? So, most of you. Okay. So, I know whatever he has spoken, like you would find it in, what to say, a big concept. You are reading Greek or French. Don't worry. Don't worry about all those things. When you start the preparation, when you are into the preparation, you will know about all these things. First of all, I want to ask you one question. How many of you have read the syllabus of UPSC? The prelims and the mains, all the papers, and if you have selected your optional, the optional syllabus. How many of you have read your syllabus? Please raise your hands. Why? You are into a preparation. You have an exam in front of you to crack and you have not read the syllabus. Why? Why? That's a question mark. That's surely a question mark. Why is that? The first important thing you have to do is go through the syllabus. Be familiar with one. If you say social issues, which paper, to which paper social issues belong to? You say constitutional and non-constitutional bodies, to which paper that belongs to? And I don't say all these papers are separate. All these papers are integrated. It's not like you had learning history in paper 1 to write in paper 1. You cannot apply it anywhere else. Just for example, I'll say, in paper 1, you are asked a question because you have world history there or modern India. You are asked a question, relevance of Mahatma Gandhi in today's world. This question is asked to you. An average person would write non-violence, satyagraha, or extraordinarily the 7 principles of Gandhi, or about the 3 monkeys of Gandhi, all these principles. But how many of you will integrate it with the Bihar prohibition, the Kerala prohibition, because Gandhiji always said about prohibition, and the Anna Hazare movement against corruption, that was purely based on Gandhian principles? Isn't it? So do you all agree with me? So then, if prohibition is coming, the article under DPSP, in polity you have learned, this has to be interlinked there. So the whole exam, and one more thing I'll say, there is no separate preparation like prelims, mains, interview. Oh, this is not, your attitude shouldn't be like, oh, this is not for mains, I wouldn't read that. This shouldn't be your attitude, because example I'll say, I have been attending the classes from 2015 November for my 2016 attempt. This was my second attempt and I've scored 144 rank this year. In first attempt, I failed in prelims. I did not even clear my prelims. So people who are sitting here having a doubt, like I have not cleared my prelims, is it possible for me to like go to the next attempt and then clear. So such people, I am standing here as an example. I did not clear my prelims in 2015 and 107 was the cutoff. I did not even hit a century. My score was 90. 107 was the cutoff for general category. My score was 90, 2 digit. And next attempt, I was here. Like, it's all made a difference. Till 31st of, I did not, like everybody who gives the exam, there's a slight hope, okay, you'll get through. But there is a larger 90% I won't get through, I have to prepare again. So I was sitting that side. Like my friend told, till 31st of May, the day result came, till then, till 4:30 p.m. I was sitting in the class. I did not relax after giving my interview. My interview was on May 18th, and I did not relax after that. I came to the classes, I attended the short modules or the revision classes for prelims that were going on. And one thing I would say, there was a health policy that was released 1 month ago. So people mainly say this is for mains because health, it's not a prelim subject. It's for mains. But the same question was asked to me in interview. One member asked me this question, can you tell a few points on the recently released national health policy? So one thing I would like to tell you is the whole preparation is integrated, the whole syllabus is interconnected, just as my friend said. Paper 1 you have agriculture, like paper 1 you have geography. Like you are saying agriculture regions of India. And paper 3 you have primary industries, primary activities. And if a question is put to you, how can you improve the like agricultural or the primary industry of India? This is asked in paper 3, this question. The development of primary industries in India. This is asked in paper 3, suppose. For this, you will have to have a background on agriculture in India. Where does this come from? This comes from paper 1. And then you have to know in India what all are grown. If you say cotton is grown in Maharashtra and the surrounding black soil region, Gujarat, and you say you have to establish a cotton mill in Jammu and Kashmir, does it make any sense? So this is an integrated thing. That is what the two things I want to convey. First of all, please go through your syllabus. It's a request from my part, please go through the syllabus. And the second thing is the whole process, the whole preparation is integrated. The subject, the topics, as well as there is no difference between prelims, mains and optional. And I would introduce myself. I am Reeshma Rameshan. I am from Kerala. And this was my second attempt, I have told. And my optional is geography. And I have scored 311 marks out of 500 in geography this year. And my overall GS score is 407. I have crossed the 400 mark and 407. So as Aditya told about all the programs, I am a branded product of Aspire. I have done each and every batch of Aspire. I was a student of all the PT batches, all the prelims batches, the main target 50 batch, the writing skill. I have attended 3 sessions of newspaper. First before prelims, second before mains, and third after my mains, before my interview, and after my interview also I was attending classes here. So about writing skill, newspaper analysis, Aditya has already told you, and about ethics too. All these Aditya has already told you. So I don't want to discuss it again because I know early in the morning it's raining and I know how painful it is to sit that side and listen during such a good weather. And thank you all for coming, getting up. I was having this apprehension. Will anybody come? And I opened the window at 7:30, it was raining. I was like, will anybody come to attend? But salute to the spirit. You got up from your bed. You came here and you're sitting here. That makes a lot of difference. Seriously speaking. And people who have written prelims this time, don't waste your time thinking, will I cross the border? Will I get into the list? Will I get into the services? Because this 1 month, till the results come, because 40-45 days I think they take to publish the result. And this time, most of the people, 70% of the candidates would be wasting this time. And you have this in front of you. I am saying it from my experience. Last year the prelims was on August 7th. I went for 1 week. I am from Kerala. I went for 1 week. The Sunday was prelim. Monday I went home. Next Sunday I was back here. Because I know, I've seen my friends. People would be wasting this time. But this I'd say, don't waste your time. I don't mean studying 14 hours a day, please. I don't belong to that category. make maximum utilization of your time, but don't waste this time thinking, oh, 105 aa raha hai, kya hoga cut off 106. My Hindi, I would make grammar mistakes, sorry. I'm very bad at ja raha hai, ja rahi hai. I'm sorry for that. Please bear with me on that. And such questions, because I've seen my friends preparing, I've seen them, and they would be asking this question continuously. Like, yeah, will I get into the list? I was like, chhod do, anyway you have to continue this journey. So start preparing. And next one important thing I would say, if by chance your score is, you're not getting a good score and you're pretty sure you're not going to clear your prelims, or the people who are preparing or starting your preparation, for them I would say this time is preparing for your mains and not for your prelims. Don't start the preparation for prelims again. I'm not clearing my prelims. My first aim is to clear my prelims. So I'll start the prelims preparation again. This is a wrong strategy to follow. Because this time, the cycle, it's a cycle, 1 year cycle, 1.5 year cycle. So now it's the time you prepare for your mains. Especially if you're fresher, or if you are you're not clearing your prelims by you're scoring very less. I hope that doesn't happen. All of you clear the exam. But by chance if that's happening, now it's the time to prepare for your mains. Be thorough with your optional. Read standard textbooks. I say, how much ever you depend on the material, the things that you get from the standard textbooks, that cannot be compensated with anything. Seriously, I'm saying, because I belong to geography optional, I know how it has helped me. Scoring 311 in geography, I don't know, by God's grace I got it. But it's not that easy scoring a 270 or 300 plus in any optional subject. It's really difficult. When you get into the preparation, you really know that. So I'm saying, read standard textbooks. You have the time now with you. Don't waste this time. And then prepare for your ethics paper. Essay, I don't say for freshers now, because the content is not developed. Until and unless your content is not developed, you are not in a position to write a good essay or a good answer. So please don't join any test series now. Fresher, I've done this mistake. I'm saying for my mistake. 2015 I came from Kerala. I don't have a single person preparing for this exam from my family or my friendship. I'm the first person to prepare from my whole school and get selected from my college, from my family. So I didn't have anybody to guide me. So I'm saying this in front of you from my mistakes. Now it's time to prepare your ethics paper, your optional papers, and some topics for your mains, like your world history. It can be read by anybody, a fresher or a person who is already into the preparation. All these topics doesn't help you in your prelims. So these topics has to be studied now. Don't say I'm not clearing prelims for the past 2 years, so I'll do for my prelims again. It's a stupid strategy. Sorry to use the word in a class like this, but to make you understand in a better manner, I use that. I'm sorry for that. So please understand this. This is how you have to prepare. Right now it's for your optional, your ethics paper and world history, and for the others, like who are already into the preparation for your essay paper, because at least you will have some content developed. And when you write your essays and show it to other people, they would at least say an option, opinion about that. So please, prelims ke baare mein chhod do. It's not time for prelims. It's your right time for optional. So all this apart, I've done all the batches here. I was a student, prelims cum mains, all the newspaper batches, and a geography batch optional. So Aditya has said about analysis program, writing skill development, and ethics paper. I would say about the other batches, like the prelims batch and the target 50 batch and the optional batch geography. I know many of you don't have geography as an optional, but please bear with me, because I wouldn't exclusively say about geography, because I would say about a technique that can be applied in any paper. That is how I would say that. It's not that I would discuss the syllabus of geography or the text to be written for geography, text to be read for geography. I won't do that. I would just tell you some simple points that I applied in my geography paper. That helped me. That you can apply in any paper, because I applied that in my GS papers also. So first, starting about the prelims cum mains batch, you will have your prelims classes in the morning 4 days a week. The subjects would be, sir would usually start with the geography. then he would go to environment, then economics, and then he does India yearbook, a separate course. So people ask me, is it necessary to read the India yearbook, such a bulky book, 30 to 33 chapters? People have cleared without reading. I would say I have not read Bipin Chandra. I have not read Bipin Chandra abhi tak. I have not read Didi Basu. I haven't cleared or not. So it's not about what you read. It's about identify what you want, what you don't want. For me, what I understood is this preparation is more about what you don't read. You have a lot of materials in the market. You see a lot of online sites. I did not follow any online site. During my first attempt, I was a stupid person. I followed almost 2 or 3 online sites. But I did not gain anything from that. I joined the famous test series here. I was writing it without my content being developed. I was always scoring out of 250. The paper is for 250 every subject. I was scoring 70, 80. I would get such comments. Even I was not able to understand. I used to call my parents and ask, like, can you understand anything from this? What are they trying to convey to me? I was not able to understand even that, what they are trying to convey to me through the comments they have given. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's your choice, personal choice. If you're I'm saying my experience. It's not that it's a stamp mark thing that you have to follow this, you will clear. It's your personal thing, but I'm saying my personal experience that I did not follow any online material and read limited sources and revise it. Revision is the key. Revision is the key for anything, and NCERT forms the base for this preparation. People are coming and asking me, is it necessary to read the 9, 10, 10 NCERT? I said, I studied in a CBSE school. I still read it. I have it with me. I have purchased the NCERTs from 6th standard. I read them. Though my education has been continuously like from 1st standard till 12th standard in a CBSE school. So these are the simple mistakes as a fresher you make, or as a second or first attempt, still you make this mistake. Because I have seen my colleagues or the people around me making these mistakes. So don't run around materials. Have limited sources with you. Has limited authentic sources. That is important. The word is limited and authentic sources with you, and read through it continuously. I know you would feel every topper says the same thing. Limited source padho, authentic source padho. So what is this limited and authentic? So, I'm sorry to say it depends from person to person. Material I am comfortable with, you may not be comfortable with, or you may not be comfortable with. So it depends also, but for every subject there are 4 or 5 authentic textbooks or material that can be followed. So it's up to you to identify which one you are able to follow, which one you are able to identify, like read, understand, and then reproduce it in your papers. That is more important. And next, the prelims classes. I said the module will be for 20-25 days. The prelims, he covers every aspect of it. For geography, he covers it in a very comprehensive manner. For environment also, it's all covered in a very comprehensive manner. And target 50, the admission seats are limited. If you have not written mains and you are a fresher and you are not taking your admission in the PT batch, you are appearing only for the mains batch, then you have to write a test first. Sir will evaluate your paper and then he will say whether you are eligible to sit in the class or not. I am not saying darane ke liye nahi bol rahi hu main, but that is how the procedure is followed here. Because maximum results comes out from the target 50 batch. I have been a student of target 50, maximum results come from the target 50 batch. So sir doesn't he doesn't adjust on the quality. You see this in every class, sir doesn't adjust on the quality in any of the class. It's not just target 50. In any class you take, he doesn't adjust on the quality. Like my friend said, sir, the voice, like his voice box was not working in many classes because I am a continuous student. You see me here. He was my classmate. He would have seen me in almost all the batches here. Rajiv, he is my classmate. We were doing target 50 together. We have done many batches together. He would have seen me in all the batches here. So that has happened to sir. And like Aditya said, I have come here and I have read from Sir ka polity text with Lakshmi Kant to the students. So that's what I'm saying. He doesn't give a break in the class, like he doesn't break the flow. He doesn't feel you like, arey, time waste ho gaya. We would have studied better. So everything is followed here. So believe me, I am a product. I proudly say I am an Aspire product. I really proudly say that because it's like I have benefited a lot. Like Aditya, whatever Aditya said, you go to the market, you will hear a number of things. Ultimately, you yourself is mature to decide what is good for you and what is bad for you. Everybody knows smoking is injurious, still people follow. So, itna to akal hai sab mein ki you can decide what is good for you, what is bad for you. So, it's your personal choice. I'm not here to canvass you to join Aspire. I am saying the truth, what I have faced during the journey, what benefit I've got from here. And there would be some points in the class that you might not remember, but when you see the question in front of you and you have A, B, C, D as an answer, you will pick the right answer. This has also happened with me. Because I was solving a 2015, like I came in 2015 November here. 2016 time I was doing a prelims test series here. So a question paper was given to us. The same question paper was given to us in 2017. Just before, like after my interview when I was attending the class, the same question paper was given to me after during the last week of May. When I saw the question paper, I realized, okay, this question paper I have solved in 2016 before my prelims. And seeing many questions, I knew this was the answer. But I have not revised it. I revised it 1 year back. I have not revised it at that time. I have revised it 1 year back. But when I saw the question paper, I knew, okay, this is the answer. I ticked it and it was correct. So believe in yourself. That is the first and foremost thing. Believe in your teacher. Believe in yourself. You have everything. If you have read it religiously, if you have read it with all your heart and mind, the thing is there in your brain. It will be reproduced at a time when you need it. But the thing is, it needs a constant revision for some things. Like if you are reading a tropical cyclone or a temperate cyclone. For a geography student, it's easy for me if you ask me to say the conditions for these. But for somebody else from some other background, it would be difficult. For such topics, you need constant revision. That's what I'm saying. And the target 50 batch, sir would be dealing the batch. Every year the batch is dynamic. It's up to sir what he teaches in the batch. I'm not saying he won't teach that, he won't teach this. I'm saying the way the topics are followed. Like our batch, he started with paper 3. But our batch he started with, there is a topic in paper 3 called Economy of Animal Rearing. There's a topic, animal husbandry, the different apiculture, sericulture, poultry, livestock, all these comes under that. For this year, like my friend said and I've heard, he started with paper 3 economic development, poverty, unemployment and all these issues. So everything would be covered. Believe your sir, everything would be covered and delivered to you. But please absorb that and study it. It may not be in the same order, 1, 2, 3, 4. The order can be anything, it's up to the sir. Like Aditya said, it's an authoritarian class, it's a dictatorship to be said. There is no democracy in this matter. It's not like you cannot ask questions. There is absolute democracy in this. If you have a doubt, you can clear it with sir. But what decision has to be taken, what has to be taught in one class, that is up to sir. So any doubts regarding this prelims and mains batch, if you have, you can ask me now. Then I would move to geography. Any doubts, feel free. I am also human. I won't underestimate you, or I won't do anything. I won't stop you outside, ask your name and then bully you, please. Any doubt about anything, like with my whatever knowledge I have, with my experience, I can clear it. And then I would move to geography and then how to improve your marks in mains. Target 50, what do you want to know about that? The thing is, he would teach you one topic. If he teaches you economics of animal rearing, tomorrow as soon as you come to the class, he might give you a question to write. But it would not be direct. It would be an applied question. You have to put in a lot of brain and then write it. And then he would ask random people to read out. But make sure, if first day your number doesn't come, second day your number doesn't come, third day your number will come for sure. Because such a huge class, you cannot ask everybody to read it out. So he would ask you to read your answer. He would value it then and there. You get a feedback then and there. Everything in Aspire happens like that. It's on the spot delivery. Cash on delivery हम बोलते हैं, ऐसे on the spot delivery है. I've got good comments from sir. If I don't write a good answer, sir say, you didn't make me happy this time. You did not write a good answer. So he gives a genuine comment to everybody. He doesn't differentiate between I am his good student or I am an average student. He doesn't differentiate on that. He gives you a genuine comment. Sometimes as soon as you come to the class, you might get questions. It might be very random questions, like with the topic you have not learned. So you will try writing it. The thing is, unless and until you don't try writing, everybody wait for the perfect day. My content is developed, my paper is prepared, and then I'll write. Very wrong. You're writing 3 lines, write it. Write it, speak in front of the class and say, sir, I know only this much about this topic. I don't know anything else. Because I have done this. For the first time I came in the class, the first question, it was in a newspaper analysis class. I initially joined the newspaper analysis class. I did not join any other class. And I see the change happening in me. The quality I've been developing. And then I joined all other batches. So it was a trial and error for me also. Like everybody goes for a trial and error at every coaching center. It was a trial and error for me also because nobody told me about Aspire. I saw it from a newspaper pamphlet. And then I came to attend. Nobody has ever told me about Aspire IAS. So this is the thing. Like you say to sir, I have not know anything about this, and then I'm saying like it's nahi pata hai mujhe sir. Like this is what he knows. And for my experience, I say the newspaper analysis class, there was a question on how to develop India's external trade. The question was what is balance of payment and how to develop India's external trade. So I just wrote one paragraph. I knew what is balance of payment. I wrote that as a definition. And then I wrote steps to be taken for external trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did not, there was a third part of the question, I don't remember, but I did not attend the third part because I didn't know anything about that. Then I read the answer, sir heard the answer and he was like, okay, you have written really well until what you have written. So if you have written well, at least 2 paragraphs, he applauds you. He says that, okay, you have written well. And if you have not written well, he says it. Please don't take it to your heart, take it to your brain. Don't emotional मत हो जाना कोई भी. Like सर ने सबके सामने या वो लड़की के सामने वो लड़के के सामने मेरे को वो बोला. Please don't be emotional. You guys are matured enough for all those. You have come here to clear the exam, crack this exam and go through. Leave Delhi, Chacha bye bye to old Rajendra Nagar. You have not come to stay here for long. And next thing I would say, I was attending classes the whole time. For prelims ke time, I was attending morning and prelims batches, and then I would attend the newspaper batches 2 times a day, 2 times a week. I was attending the target 50 batches in the evening. People would ask me, where is your time for self-study? I would say my efficiency is more in class. My efficiency is more in class. At home, I waste a lot of time. I know that. From class, what I learn, it's more. That's why I keep going to class. And I say them one more thing. It differs from individual to individual. Some people want to sit alone, read through the material, make notes and then study. For me, when somebody says something to me or something is written and when I keep making notes, because I am a notes person, when I keep making notes, listening to something, that helps me. So please identify what is beneficial to you. You have 14 years, 15 years, 17, 18 years of schooling everybody or college and then education. So you now know which way you can learn the best. I would say my example, I am a notes person. I keep writing. Even if I write it the second time or third time, I don't mind. But I keep writing. You always see a pen and paper with me when I am in the class. So that is how I learn. That might not work for a second person. So please identify the way in which you are able to learn in a better manner. For some people, it's a picture memory. You see something that gets into their brain. So please identify that and then learn. And the next thing, target 50, is it clear to you? Thank you.
Target 50 oriented for this year means for next year? For the change it starts in October.
Sorry, yaar, October is for next year means. This year it has already started. Like in Jan it started. So this year means it would not help you and you would not get an admission also. So October if it's starting, then it would for next year means. And somebody, yes. Dictatorship, I'm sorry. Sir decide karte, he decides it. When I was studying, this was not the classroom in which I studied. Like we recently shifted to this classroom in last December, so it was somewhere else, and it was a much smaller class. I would say half of this. The strength was that. If this is an interview question, I'll give you my mail ID and I'll send an answer to this. That is not to be discussed here. Okay. This I'll mail to you. I'll write my mail ID when I leave. People who want to take it down, and then message me whatever queries or whatever help you need, because there was nobody to guide me. Because of course you have sir in front of you to guide you. I believed in him, I believed in myself. That is how I got through. But if you need any help regarding anything geography as an optional or something, I would leave my mail ID. If you won't note that, and then I would mail you, like, please put your name, put your question, I would reply to that then. 1 minute. Paper wise, I am not clear with your question. Yes, that is it. This is cycle of exam, 1 year. So you are a fresher. You have given this attempt. So, like, if you're sure you're getting into or you're in the margin, start preparing for your mains. Whatever the condition is, start preparing for your mains. That is important. You're optional, like you're a fresher to this field, or you have written your attempts. First attempt. So start preparing for your mains from now on. Now it's not the time for PT, it's the time for mains. So now you have to prepare for your optional, your essay paper, your ethics paper, and papers like topics like world history, social issues. That does not help you in prelims. That's what I told you. You have to prepare for your optional. It's okay. You are given your prelims or you are not given your prelims. Right now it's the time for preparation for mains. So you are a fresher. So now you have to prepare for your ethics paper, your world history paper, and your optional paper. Because for social issues or your international relations, you need content that you don't have right now. Since you are a fresher, you will have to prepare for your ethics, your world history, because world history can be read and understood by anybody. Adolf Hitler is Adolf Hitler, whether you write prelims or mains. Okay, and then your ethics paper, because ethics also, it's not connected. I don't say it's not connected with any paper, but you can prepare right now, even as a fresher.
Primarily, we have two classes for the people, like for the candidates who are appearing for the mains right now. One is the
newspaper, and next is writing skill.
Yeah. So, like how much time we are going to invest in these two classes, and how do
you will have newspaper 2 classes a week. And writing skill, mostly the test will be on Sunday, and mostly if it's like, since you have to cover 30 tests within a short span of time, there will be tests mostly on alternate Thursdays also. So this would be the class. 2 classes a week for newspaper and 2 test series. Like I don't call it test series, it's writing skill enhancement. I really don't know the timings. I'm sorry, I don't know the timetable. Because it would be decided by sir, or you ask the office. I'm not sure about the timings. But you'll have 2 classes a week for newspaper and writing skill. It's not for 3 hours. So you were not there when Aditya spoke? Okay. So meet me after that, because all of them have heard it. It would be a repetition and boring for them. I'll wait outside. Meet me after this. I'll explain it to you. Okay? Do all of you want to hear that? Preparation of notes, or you are a notes person, because of that you want to hear? All of you want to hear for that? Sure? मारोगे तो नहीं मुझे? उसके बाद टाइम बात कर दिया. Nobody would say that. Sure, I'll go ahead. Okay, so first of all, remember one thing. You have to write an answer in 9 minutes, and it's for 12.5 marks. So you don't have to prepare essays and essays on that. I'm seeing people write, okay, this is and this and this and this. I've seen notes like that. I've told them to correct. The most important thing is you prepare a note. You have to revise it. You prepare a whole thing and then you don't revise it. It doesn't make any sense. So important thing is you prepare a note and then you have to revise it. That's the most important key factor. And remember, you have to write an answer for 12.5 marks in 7 minutes. 9 minutes is an average. 7 minutes because you have to do a lot of bubbling. You have to sign papers. So you lose some minutes here and there. To take an average, 8 minutes. 8 minutes you have to write an answer. And 250 words, 12.5 marks. So, this is your paper. Take an A4 sheet. I would say all of you to make notes in A4 sheet, because when you start making in notebooks, the preparation is such a thing. If you read an article on health today, you would be reading it after 1 week. So how long you'll keep turning the pages, and you have prepared the notes for health all here. And then next health would be coming in the next notebook or after 5-6 pages. That doesn't make sense. So it should be topic wise. If you are preparing for health, health should be together, or it's an umbrella topic. Social issues you have. So social issues, first I would say a health topic I would come up. Like, it is my way of preparing notes. First is health. Next is education. Next is women. Next is child. So I would write all these heading in an A4. Just if this is A4, I would write health here. Okay, if one article came about the primary health care center, so my first thing would be primary health. So what is the article? Summary of articles. Don't write the exact lines what is given in the Hindu, because if they have given their journalists or the expert people who are writing. For you, what is important is you have to remember it. So when you read article, if there is an article on what are the problems faced by primary health centers and what are the solutions, what the steps government can do for these. If this is the thing, your thing should be like, if you have written primary health, next thing, first of all, it should be the problems. And then write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maximum 5 points, because you have only 7 minutes to write a 12.5 marks question. You don't have to prepare an essay on this. And it's important you remember all these 5 points, so 4 points at least for your exam. So don't overdo things. And if, like primary healthcare centers, you don't have staff, like no staff strength, just 3 words for the first problem. Next is no government support. If that is it, no government support. Like this. And if it's a solution, second solution. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the steps government has taken, or how we can improve the staff strength or the government support to these strengths. This should be your strategy. And if after 3 weeks an article comes to write again on the primary health centers, turn the page, write it. Or if it's in a problem or a solution kind of article, write the fourth problem here. So you have everything together. It would be easier to you to like revise it. The key factor here is to revise. Okay, and if it's next is like French Revolution. What are the causes for French Revolution? You have French Revolution here and causes. Social, economic, political, miscellaneous, whatever topic is there. So what were the social? 1, 2, 3, 4. Economic 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole thing should be within half a page. That is what is more important. This strategy can be followed for any subject. I followed this strategy even for my optional paper. But don't do the strategy in your exam. This is for to make your work easier and for you to remember and revise. Not for anything else. Okay. Don't follow this for exam. Exam mein you can write points, paragraphs, or whatever combination you want to write. But write the full sentence. No staff strength, there is no required staff strength in the primary healthcare centers. So it should be a complete sentence for your mains exam. But this is for you to reduce your workload, to remember, and to easy preparation. This is what I followed. For every subject this can be done. I showed you an example for social issue. I showed you an example for world history. History is not something you read pages and pages and make pages and pages. Not. This is the strategy that can be followed for world history. Any topic, Industrial Revolution. Same thing can be followed. This is a universal thing. I have worked this strategy, like it is followed by many people, I know. But for me, this strategy really worked because I have the whole health in 3 pages. If I want to write an essay, expand every page for 2 pages. If a comprehensive health essay on health is asked, so you have first, you have to integrate it with India. Then you explain it from the health condition, the Ayurveda tradition, or the physicians we had, Charaka Shushruta. You expand it. And then expand all these things for 2 pages, your essay is ready. So this is a one-stop solution that I followed. So is it clear? Any doubts on this? Is it this clear for all of you? This is what I followed. It really worked for me. That's why I shared it with you. This can be followed for any subjects, be it geography, be it, I don't know about other optionals because I have studied only geography. I don't know about any other optionals, so sorry for that. I don't know whether this can be followed in maths, physics. I'm sorry for that. But this I followed in geography and worked for me and all the papers also. I said one thing is prelims is not an extra preparation from this. Okay. So for example, if there is a question on like GST, what he said, the article you would be learning about GST policy, the policy rate and stuff. You would say why GST is needed for the country, that would come under the mains part. But if you are preparing notes on GST, okay, so what? First, what is GST? And the rates. Why now? Why only now we have introduced this? Why now? And the advantage, the disadvantage. You have all this in one sheet with you. So the question was asked from this part. And if there are some points to be highlighted for prelims, like if I write, okay, for example, I say this is a point I have to highlight for prelims. Just write PT here and highlight it with a highlighter. So that when you are revising for your prelims, you have to look only for the highlighted portion. You don't have to read through the entire notes. Because there is no separate note making for prelims, no separate note making for mains, no separate note making for interview. So if it's for the prelims, you have highlighter, different color highlighters you get in the market. Just highlight this. If this, for example, is some ginger or some monkey or some pig found somewhere, and you have written it under your environment, new species or threatened species. Some news has come about threatened species, and you have written it in the part of climate change, global warming, because these species are affected by it. But you have to learn this for your prelims also. So just highlight it, write PT, your work is done. Your notes for prelims and mains is prepared. So this is what I followed. And next is regarding the optional geography. No, I don't know how many of you would believe me, because it's really difficult to believe what the toppers talk. I have not written any single test series for my optional till now. When I said this to one of my friend, he called me, my friend referred to him, even his optional was geography, he was struggling with geography. I answered the same question. So the thing what the person told me was, toppers to ऐसे बोलते हैं. So that is what you said. Toppers to ऐसे बोलते हैं. But believe me, standing here I wouldn't lie, because this is my Gurukul. Standing here I wouldn't lie. I have not been emotional, but it's up to you whether you want to take it or not. I did not write even a single test series for geography. I did not join. So managing the time would be, sir would be a better person to say, because he would give you a timetable. When you come to the class for the first day, matching his schedule, he would give you a timetable, because everybody's caliber is different. But you get a framework. You can modify within that, but you get a framework to do the thing. And sir would be handling it in a better way. I'm not a person for that. That's what I followed this method. So I had my entire module in just 3 or 4 papers. For example, there is like this can be followed for anything. I'm taking because I don't know about any subject. There is a subject in geography called transport. Transport, you have rail, road, air, pipeline, waterways, inland and export waterways. Like you have coastal waterways also. So this was the entire topic that was coming under that. The first topic was transport, the second topic was communication. And you have this transport in your paper 3 GS. Infrastructure. Transport comes under infrastructure. You have this in your paper 3. If people sitting here don't know, you have this topic. So first thing I did is I was preparing for transport. Same thing. If this is it, transport, I would first write road. I would divide it into 3. What is the present status of roads in India? If any classification of roads that, the problems, the advantages and the future prospects. So then I would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would take me only half a page to do road. The same was followed for airway, railway and other transport as well. So I had my entire transport notes, which is half a module, prepared in just 3 sides. 3 sides you have a half module prepared for you. So your time saves, because it takes time to make notes. I know it's a hard taking time, like hard pain for make notes. But this really helped me, because to revise this I would just need 10 minutes, max to max 10 minutes to revise half a module of my subject. And next thing I told is about integration. Integration of the subject, just I gave the example of Mahatma Gandhi. That is also the correlation between the subjects. If somebody asks you, what is your opinion about the recent amendment to Maternity Benefit Act, 12 weeks to 26 weeks. If you link it with Article 42 of DPSP, wouldn't your answer quality increase? If your answer, you're scoring 4, 4, 4 for every question, and in a paper 1 question, the person is seeing a polity perspective or a constitutional perspective. Constitutional is it's the supreme thing of the country that governs you, that governs me. And if a person sees this in your paper, Article 42 in maternity benefit, you would get extra 1 mark for that. Because the whole exam is about correlation and interrelation. And next thing is, wherever possible, try to make diagrams and maps. Maps and flow chart. Diagrams in the sense, world map or Indian map. Indian map, please everybody learn it, even if you are outside geography optional. You get stencil of India map. Please buy it from the market. Just practice hand drawing through that. Practice is for 10 days. 11th day your hand will automatically move in that manner. Because this year a question was asked on inland waterways in paper 1. You were right about the inland waterways, the inland waterways. We have been using it from the time of Indus Valley civilization. The Indus we were using, and the Mauryas or the Guptas, they were using it. You start to answer with an ancient perspective. So you put history into your answer. This is an answer of geography or paper 3 infrastructure. But you start the answer saying, this way I started my answer. Like, inland waterways have been important in the country. I write in very simple sentence, short. Don't write long sentence. Because when I was correcting my friend's paper, people who write long sentence, by the time I reach the end of the sentence, I forget where he or she started from. So make short sentences, write in simple language. Your language hasn't to be very flowery to get you into that. Inland waterways is important in the country for from time immemorial, right from the Indus Valley civilization or right from Mauryan and Guptan time, we were developing inland waterways. But it's only after the coming of the British and development of other road and railways, inland waterway got a setback. You don't have to write an introduction as such, what is inland waterway, nothing. This will take you only 3 lines and gives an impact. Okay, this child know how to correlate. And instead of explaining the 6 inland waterways in India, will it look good when you draw an Indian map and mark all these 6 inland waterways? Will it look good? When you yourself imagine to be a paper corrector, you have 100 copies in front of you to be corrected. One thing I would say, share empathy with the person who is correcting your paper. सुबह से he is coming, sitting, कभी कभी बीबी से झगड़ा करके आता है, चाय नहीं मिला, नाश्ता नहीं मिला, तो he would have that frustration. I'm not saying a negative thing, everything is human, this is possible, this is a chance. So everybody is writing inland waterway, what is inland waterway, these are the 6 inland waterways in India. 10 copies, he saw the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are the 6 inland waterways. 11th copy is your copy and he is seeing a map of India with the inland waterways. Will you get 1 or 2 marks extra? So this is the way of, you cannot drastically increase your number 20, 30 in one paper. It's small steps that helps you to take improvement. 1 mark per question, half mark per question. Per paper you increase your 10 marks. Think you have 20 questions and you attempt only 15 very well, and 10 you attempted drawing map or flow chart. Okay, you get 1 mark extra for every question from others. For 4 papers your marks is 40 marks extra, and 40 marks in UPSC means a lot. It means a lot. People who have written mains and just lost their numbers by 2 or 3 marks can really understand what I say. Freshers, I don't know till what extent you are understanding what I am saying. But people who have done this, like we have written mains or we have an interview and then lost by 2-3 marks or even 10 marks, really understand this. So these are the small hacks by which you can increase your marks. That doesn't mean for every question you write you have to draw a map. If something about like something else is asked and you don't put it into like zabardasti mat dalo usko. There is no point you are really putting it into that. For example, I would give you another example. What I followed, there was a question on a paper, like in my optional paper, but this can come in any paper. This question was on tribal problems and solutions faced by tribals in India. This was the question. So, tribes in India, like some data or something, I don't remember how I started the answer. But just after that, I just drew a map, Indian map. And please draw the map with a pencil. Please use a scale. Please use a rubber. Don't mind you are 24, 22, 26 or 30. Please do this. Because neatness of your paper gives an impression to the examiner. So if possible, 1 minute, I'll complete this and I'll answer your question. Write figure 1, tribal regions in India. So what I did is I drew an Indian map and I marked the important tribal regions of that area. Like of India. Like if it's a Chhattisgarh or Jharkhand, I write bones. If it's Gujarat, Rajasthan, I wrote bills. If it's near Nilgiris, freshers, don't worry. I have been into this preparation from 2014. And these are the tribes in India. You will learn it. Please, darna mat. Whatever me or Aditya has shared with you, please darna mat isse. This is the way of preparation. You will get to know that. And in South India, I am marking near Nilgiris, Todas, Irulas in Tamil Nadu. So it takes your answer to 1 step ahead of others. I would get 2 marks for this map. And if a flowchart is possible wherever, draw that. Please make the flowchart also with pencil. These are simple hacks that I followed when I was writing my geography paper or my GS paper. Because if this question comes in GS, tribal issues can come in under social issues. It's a part of our population, it can come in social issues. So this can be applied there also. So this is not because just in geography you can apply. This can be applied there also. So, okay.
What are the principles or techniques that you are integrating? Like if you can integrate anything to anything, but there needs to be some limitations or boundaries or rule of thumb by which you can...
For that, you have to have a command over, like not 70% of the syllabus first. Like I said in example, Maternity Benefit Act, it can be related to Article 42 because this provision is given in Article 42. And the thing is, you have to know this. You don't have to do a lot of integration into this. First of all is try integrate it with current affairs, what is going on. Like I said for the prohibition example, Bihar or Kerala, when you say, You are asked to write on prohibition or relevance of Gandhi. So you have to know the interconnection that comes with the preparation. I cannot say how that is possible now. That comes with the preparation.
Citing your example, you linked Mahatma Gandhi to
Anna Hazare.
of prohibition.
Okay.
So first, when you try to integrate, you think about the major subjects of this syllabus, like social issues. I want to integrate.
Because my notes were prepared that way. Just as I told, my notes were prepared this way. For social issues, first topic is health. Second is education. Third is women, child, tribe.
I get that, but you link it to maternity, not maternity, prohibition. But that comes very deep inside, and it's not the first point of the
No, this I said as an example because I could remember only this now. This thing will come to you over the period of time. Because we have been learning the whole thing as subject, okay, world history, this one, I won't integrate it. We have been learning the subjects that way. But when you integrate it in a better way, you have chances of scoring very high marks. And that is the whole principle where Sir works. Because if my integrations and interlinking is so strong now, that is because of the man who would stand this side and then help me out there. So if you ask me how I learned interconnection, I would say, sir, I don't have another answer for that. Because once you have command over 70% of the subject, you cannot have 100% is an utopian concept. No machine, no human works 100% with efficiency. So it's a 70% efficiency or 70% you have about every subject. Okay, then you can integrate. That comes over a period of time when you go through the subjects, when you go through the syllabus. Maybe this I got from an article I read in the Hindu. Because if somebody is giving a critical analysis of the Kerala prohibition policy, even you see such interconnections in when you read the Hindu. This is developed, another method is reading the Hindu and then trying to summarize it. How I told you, it shouldn't be the same copycat line of the Hindu that you are writing. What you have understood from the Hindu after reading. Okay, you don't understand one point, leave it. You have 4 points with you. We all run behind that one point. I don't understand that one point. We all run behind that one point. We all run towards perfectionism. And perfectionism is not possible in UPSC. It's Andho Mein Kana Raja ka game. That's what we call in our friend circle. It's Andho Mein Kana Raja. So anything else? Anybody? And is it clear like what I've explained? I've not explained the entire course process or anything. I guess Aditya has almost cleared all your doubts. But I was explaining to you what I was facing difficulties, the mistakes I did, I was preparing, the strategy I followed, the method I followed while I was preparing, that helped me. So any doubt, anything else? And one more thing I would say, it's who clears the exam. May it be first rank, second rank or the 1000th rank. We are not superhumans. We are also humans like this. I was a student sitting here. My seat was always in the front row. Because I always wanted, sir, बस नीचे, like बिल्कुल नीचे, सर के आंखों के सामने बस. I always sit in this row, here or here. This was my demarcated boundary area. I wouldn't sit anywhere else. So next thing is, I have cried in this class. Sitting in the geography optional batch, I have cried. Because I was tensed. This was my first mains. I failed my PT miserably. I would call it a miserable failure during 2015, and 2016 was my first attempt. Second attempt. So I was having too much fear because people who sit with me were person who got selected into Punjab PCS first rank. Another has written one main, she has given interview. This was my close circle. And another person this year ranked 66, Sagar, he has written mains already. So for me, I always feel I'm a bacha among them, who has not even cleared their prelims. It's not I'm डराने के लिए नहीं बोल रही हूँ, but this is the thing I feel. I sat in this class and I've cried, but I did not give up. I used to attend the class. जितना hard work I can put in, I've put into this. So that is where my results came. I've been attending the classes morning, daily, like every day. I was seeing 7 days a week. I was seeing sir. But for me, I told I'm a notes person or I'm a class person because my efficiency is more in class. That's why I keep coming to class. But that not may be the case with you. So you can identify better what is good for you, what is bad for you, and do that. Any more queries? Please inquire in the office. I really don't know about that. All subjects will be taken by sir. Geography optional will be taken by sir. I don't know about the other optionals. Because I've seen socio and things added. These are added this year. I don't know about them. Till last year there was only geography optional. So geography optional will be taken by sir. So any other doubt? So before I conclude, yeah, sure. No, it's not. If sir feels like you have to write, you come in a newspaper batch. Because the question I told you I wrote on balance of payment, I sat and wrote in newspaper batch. Because sometimes in newspaper batch, if there is a question on he is making you read an article on air pollution. Then he would give a question then and there. Even you might not be prepared for that. Then he would say, okay, write the question. What are the conditions for, why Delhi is more polluted than other cities like Mumbai or Chennai? What are the reasons for that? For this, you need to have geography because Delhi is continental. They don't have sea around Delhi. We don't have sea around Delhi. But we have sea in Mumbai, we have sea in Chennai, where sea breeze and land breeze are continuous. So it drives away the pollutants. But Delhi, that is not the case. And it's a concrete jungle. There are no trees to absorb. So these are the factors. So this question you would write in environment. But where did the base start from? Geography. Delhi is continental, whereas Mumbai and Chennai are near the coastal areas. So the base started from geography. That's why I told everything is interconnected. There is no preparation as such. This one I would study this and my part is over. So it's over a period of time you'll develop that interconnection and interlinkages. Don't worry about what I say here because I've been sitting in this class for 1.5 years. So this is how I developed. I'm clear with you. Next question. What?
Have a dilemma whether we clear or clear it or not. If you have the dilemma, what to study from it. For example, whether to join the test series or to join other batch from it. So when I thought of test series, so when I was preparing for the test series, whether I should prepare for the test series or I should do the self-study on my own. So that was where
even when you're preparing for the test series, you would be studying on your own, right? I say because it's not tomorrow you have to start for your essay, tomorrow you have to start for your ethics. You have 3 months in front of you. So divide your time and then cover it up according to what you feel. If you feel your ethics is strong, devote lesser time for that. That is what I meant. I don't say tomorrow you have to start your optional, tomorrow you have to start your ethics, tomorrow you have to start your essay. I don't say that. Okay? It's like you have 3.5 months. Actually, you people are blessed. Who are going to write mains next time, you people are actually blessed. Because the mains will get over in October. Last year, the mains got over in December. And the people who appeared this year in prelims had to give the prelims in June. Last year, the prelims was in August. You guys have 2 extra months than them. So, you guys are one way really lucky in that manner. Understood? So, I said it's over a period of time, but before you start your preparation for prelims, like till November you take. This I am saying as an example, it can vary from person to person again. You say prepare for till November. And then within this November, I am saying you have to cover this. If you are not giving mains this year, I am saying. If you are giving mains this year, then you have to speed up your procedure. But I don't say you have to start the preparation of all the subject tomorrow itself. Divide the days and then prepare. Because essay is something you develop over a period of time when your content start developing. First important thing is there is no point in writing any answer or any test series without your content being developed. But you can try writing always. And when the content develops, you always see a quality improvement in you. Because I'll say example, in this writing skill program, there are 2 essays to be, like 2 essays you have. For first essay test, I scored 100 on 250. And like Aditya said, I used to score here only 3 or 4 tests where I scored below average. Rest all the tests I've scored above average. So even when like Aditya said, I belong to that category. Did Aditya introduce his roommates to you? There was a rank 760 sitting beside you. You guys didn't know. He was also a part. He left now. He left now. There was another person who gave us interview. He was also sitting here. We were all classmates in writing skill and newspaper. So the rank 760 was sitting here. Next beside, I guess, in the white chair there. He was sitting there. So we were all a part of the same group. So the first essay I was saying, like, I scored 100 marks. And it was below average because that day average was 110 or 120 as far as my knowledge. And obviously, sir calls out the roll number, he gives you the paper. You have to collect it. So 100 for me, he was shocked. And when I checked my essay, I scored 70 marks in my first essay. 30 marks in my second essay. So sir made a comment. Reeshma, I did not expect this from you. Improve next time. Next day paper, I scored 134 in my essay next test. So when he says this to you, he might scold you, he might verbally abuse you also, sometimes, not always. But take it that it's for your improvement. That is how I improved. If I would have taken, no, I am his favorite student or he is my favorite sir, but he said this to me. That was not like right on his part. He said this in front of everybody. When you do really well, he will applaud you. He will say, Shabash, you have done well. Okay. So that is your doubt clear? So that is how the improvement comes over a period of time. Don't expect miracles to happen within 1 day or 1 week. Be patient enough. I've told, I've cried, I've shouted at my parents. Though it's not their decision to come and prepare for UPSC, because I do not have a frustration channel to be out. I've shouted at them. I am also a human. I also have feelings. Imagine she is sitting next to you. Sorry ma'am, I'm taking you as an example. She is sitting next to you crying. The people around me were not understanding what to do with me. Even so was not understanding because he is seeing me crying for the first time. And I was trying it very hard to control, but I was not able to. So that's what I'm saying. All these happens. This is a part of the preparation, but be brave. Just Aditya said, hang on, you will get the result. You will get through. Please believe in your teacher and please believe in yourself. People always have doubts. Whether I'm doing right, whether I'm doing wrong. Please don't. You have passed graduation, you have reached here, some from very good institutions. So and this preparation actually is made harder. It's not really very hard. It's not because I've selected, I'm saying. Even first year of my preparation, I felt, oh, this is so hard. Many subjects I don't know, all these things. But when I got a correct guidance, a correct path to follow, correct strategy to follow, it became easier. That is what makes the difference. Understood? That's what really makes the difference. So, your question was essay, ethics and all. So, this has to be over a period of time you have to cover, not immediately. UPSC syllabus can never be completed. It depends from person to person because the questions are applied. One thing is you don't have to go through each and everything over a time. Once you have general idea in your mind, then it's better you stop. You have a general idea of things. And like this year question came, comparison between Mahatma Gandhi and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Which textbook gives you an answer for this? So it's an applied part. So you keep on reading static material that doesn't really helps you. For that, Aspire really helped me. Because the questions are asked in the test series. He asked one question in test series, comparison between Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi. But this slightly twist, it came in the mains paper, comparison between Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. At least I would be able to write the Mahatma Gandhi part well. I would get a half mark for it. I would have written 2-3 points for Subhash Chandra Bose, violence, his presidentship against Rajendra Prasad, and then the Haripura session, all these issues there, and the forward block formation, taking international help. When he said Second World War was the right time to strike, and Gandhi was like, no, when your enemy is weak, you cannot strike. So these are examples where you develop over a period of time, the application part of it. So I don't really know how to answer your question regarding the static part. I'm sorry. Anything else? Yeah. I was a newspaper analysis vice student for 3 seasons. Yeah, going through and studying for the exam are different. The newspaper to हमारे मम्मी पापा भी read करते हैं. It's one thing is you have to identify the things. which is important to you, which is not important to you. That you can identify only when you know the syllabus. Please sit down. Why are you standing? Please. That you can understand only when you know the syllabus. And then taking an article and then reading out of it and understanding whether I need this or not. For this, sir has really helped me because I've been as a constant student in newspaper analysis batch. When you come to that batch, or when he takes his seminar here, or what you call as a workshop here, we don't call it a seminar, we call it a workshop, then you really understand, because I am no substitute for him. I am just his representative today because he could not reach you, and I was luckily here. I came 2 days back from Kerala. I just reached day before yesterday. Till then I was in Kerala. So I am just his representative here. I cannot substitute him. I can say some things that really help me in this preparation or really help me being a student of Aspire. That's the only thing I can say. Newspaper analysis, yes, it's very, very important to read the Hindu and make notes of it. There is no point in you read article, cut the article and keep. You won't read it again. Believe me, you won't read that article again. The articles you have cut and kept. Ask yourself, in your room you will be having such articles. But how many of you have gone through those articles again? And then remembered it. That is important. So, I know Malayalam. Obviously, I am a Kerala. I am born and brought up and lived in 22 years in Kerala. Language paper I have written. I wrote in Malayalam the language paper. What big thing about Malayalam? I have studied Malayalam, even though my second language was Hindi in school. I know to read and write Malayalam and fluent in Malayalam. So I wrote the language paper in Malayalam. You can clear even if your language is Malayalam. Don't worry, you can. We'll give it later because it's your personal thing. We'll give it a talk later, not now. So everything clear? Can I wind up this? Everything. Oh, sorry. Reeshma Rameshan, R-E-E-S-H-M-A, R-A-M-E-S-A-N, Rameshan, R-E-E-S-H-M-A, Reeshma. I would write it, I think that is better. I'm not that tall. There is, all of you know my age now. So this is my email ID, and you have any query, please drop in your question. I would take 1 day to reply, but I promise I'll reply. There is no one method for UPSC. And you don't say it as an introduction as such. You don't have to write paragraphs. It's just 3 or 4 lines you have to write. Just aside, every answer you have to complete in 8 minutes for 12.5 marks. It depends on the topic and it depends on your perspective. Some might start like the inland waterways I said. I started it giving a historical perspective. You might started giving the importance of internal waterways that helped India. So it depends from person to person and answer to answer. It's not a clear, people say start it historically. That was my method. It can vary from person to person, not a big deal. You don't have to be too much concerned about that. Anything else? So, obviously. You would better talk to sir regarding all this, which to join, which not to join. Because it would not be good if I say. I really don't know, it helped me. All the batches here really helped me. That is why you see me here. There is no such batch that I have not attended. I was a student continuously for 1.5 years and I have attended every single batch. If I have attended one newspaper session and I am coming for the second time, and after giving my means again coming for the third time while preparing for my interview, now you really understand what's the importance of newspaper, I feel. That's why I keep coming back again and again. And when you come to the class, you will see 30-40% of the class is the old students. Why do they keep coming back? Because they benefit something from that. That's why they keep coming back. So all the best to all of you. Thank you for being patient. I know it's really difficult. Thank you for being patient. I hope I was helpful to you regarding some matter. And if you have anything to ask me, you can come and ask me. I'll be here for like 10-15 minutes more. Thank you. I when I may speak to people, I speak to people like this. Because you know how I speak to people. You would have seen me. I speak to people like this only, like how I talk to you people right now. I really don't know how to give a formal speech or a formal session. So when I write my answer, I write like this. If it's for like your one sentence, one line, that is it. Very simple line. If it's Davis and Penn slope development or erosion cycle is given, okay, this is the slope being developed. It's a constant slope. It's here. So, but make sure you include the geographical terms in that.
Regarding current affairs,
That's
after they have asked some question on climate research project.
I do not attempt. You have other options. Where do you want to go with something that you do?
Any
Really?
of the questions were related to current affairs.
So that one thing is important is you select the questions. So in geography there is a strategy I followed. Like you, for I don't know for other optionals, but for geography this is being told by my sir only. You have two paper 1 and paper 2. And paper 1 you have first part physical geography, human geography. Second part of it is human geography. So Indian geographers are mostly human geographers. Have you heard of any Indian geographer who is physical geographer? No. You always hear Davies, Penn, Stanley, all those in physical geography. So human geographers, you hear Majid Hussain, you hear Dikshit. They are more towards it. So what you do is, you have 5 questions per day. You are compulsory, you don't have a choice. So if this is the paper 1, this is the part A and part B. You have to attempt 3 questions. You attempt 1 question for part A and most of the questions for part B. Because Indian geographers would be more interested in this area. They wouldn't be interested in this area much. But make sure you have to attempt compulsory 1 question. This is only a choice you have. But make sure you attempt this question from this part. And same with paper 2. Paper 2 small changes, part 1, part 2. 2 questions compulsory. You have 3 more to attempt. 2 questions from part 1 of paper 2. Because this whole thing is more of static. This whole thing is more of dynamic transport, communication. Anything can come at us. This part is Himalayas rivers, which the Indian geographers again included. Understood? This is another small hack that you can follow.
But since you project this geography entire program, were there certain units that you felt that you had to cover outside what sir was teaching, or was it inadequate here in the class?
Yes.
There were. So which portion, if you can specifically?
I don't know how to ask this. It's so awkward. Can anybody call Akasha? There are some topics that you would feel.
Like I have heard that world physical geography is one such area which
some areas you have to cover.
okay. But other topics that sir cover in the class are adequate, or sir at least refer to the sources which are needed for it.
He will say the sources which are needed. He will tell you to refer to those sources. Because he'll ask you to get the textbook to the class. And what he follows is he'll ask you to make you draw the diagrams. अगर ये कैसे ऑफ होता है? ऑफ कैसे? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, maybe off कर लो. ऑफ कर लो. ऑफ कर लो. ऑन नहीं करना. ऑफ कर लो.
important